For more on Adnan Syed's case, let's bring in Rabia Chaudry. She's a family friend of Syed's who wrote a New York Times bestseller about the case and has long advocated for Syed's innocence. Thank you so much for Thank you so much for joining Top Story tonight, Rabia. I should note you are yourself a lawyer, and you were actually the person who brought this case to the attention of the serial podcasters. Did you speak with Adnan after today's hearing? Talk to us about how he felt in court today, and now that he's had a little bit of time to process it, where his head is at.
Yeah, I was at the hearing with him today. Thank you for having me, by the way, and covering this. But and I spoke to him not too long ago. You know, he thinks the hearing went as well as it could, and I also believe the same. I think he has a zealous advocate in Erica Suter. She did a fantastic job presenting the key factors important in considering whether or not he deserves to be resentenced under this petition, under the Juvenile Restoration Act. And we are hoping for a result that is just in his favor.
Were you surprised by the decision to not vacate his murder? I mean, we heard the prosecutor telling Lester Holt there, we're very confident in the jury's decision that it made back in 2000.
I am surprised only because and I very much appreciate Lester Holt pointing out the fact that Ivan Bate has publicly supported Adnan's innocence, and in fact went on the record publicly and said that if he were in charge, he would drop the charges. I appreciate him pointing out the fact that Ivan Bates has changed his position. So it does come as a bit of a surprise. Having said that, you know, this is a political position, and there are things that certain people say when they're campaigning, and there's certain things then people will change their positions when they're in office. But I will say this in response to the clip that you just showed, when Ivan Bates said that, you know, what we knew when I made those statements was partial information. That's actually not accurate. What he's saying today is that we agree with the jury's verdict. Well, the jury's verdict was available in 2000. And so when he made those statements, what he was basing it on was already knowing the jury's verdict. The jury's verdict has not changed. What happened at trial has not changed. His perspective on it has changed.
Do you believe Adnan will be granted a reduced sentence under the JRA? And when you think about that, the fact that it could be vacated under JRA and not something because of a Brady violation, is there still some sort of disappointment from your perspective and Adnan's that it won't be a total change or reversal of what he was convicted of?
Look, it is a part and parcel of the criminal justice. The way the system works is sometimes people have to take plea deals just to gain their freedom, even if they're innocent. This happens all the time. Adnan would not be exonerated. His conviction would not be vacated if he's granted relief under this. He would just be resentenced to time served. The conviction would still stand. And of course, that's a disappointment. What I have always wanted for 26 years working on this case is for him to be fully exonerated. And I also don't believe Hae Min Lee gets justice until we catch the killer. My question for Ivan Bates and others is, what about all the outstanding forensic evidence that you and the Baltimore City Police are failing to source? What about the DNA, the hair found on her body, the fingerprints in her car, none of which belong to Adnan, none of which belong to the sole witness that the state's case is based upon? Do you not care who all that forensic evidence belongs to? What about that?
Rabia Chaudry, thank you so much for speaking with us tonight. We really appreciate your time and insights.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.